Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at building a custom mailbox. This video is going to be a two-part series, so be sure to check out the second half when it comes out as well. Okay, so the problem we were trying to solve here is we had this old, kind of ugly, outdated mailbox. In addition to being not the best looking, it also has no ability to lock it out, and we were experiencing some mail theft in the neighborhood. So the idea here is to make a better looking mailbox that is also functional and is lockable as well. So I settled on this Mailbox 7208 security mailbox. This particular box has a locking bottom storage area as well as an anti-theft upper mail slot area. The box itself is decently large, not overly large though. It will fit some small packages, which is kind of what I wanted it to do. And they offer a whole bunch of different sizes of this guy, so I will link this one below in the description. But go ahead and check out the rest of the Mailbox lineup. They've got quite a few different size options there for you. So in order to get started on this, we needed to consult the USPS guide for mailbox height. This box will be up on a curb, so we're looking at 41 to 45 inches to the bottom of the hinge, basically, on the opening part of the box. So I went ahead and drew up a quick sketch of what I thought this was going to look like. Now it turns out that I had definitely undersized the vertical dimension on this diagram, but this is kind of the basic principle of the frame. I'm going to use 3/4 inch square stock 16 gauge to make up the frame, and then we will put some 1/2 inch hardy backer board all the way around and seal it off with stucco on the outside, and then paint to finish and a decorative cap on top. And with that being said, let's get started on the build. So I've got the box here up on the table just to kind of give you an idea of its size. Like I said, it's not a small mailbox, but it will hold a decent amount of mail and some of those smaller packages, which will be nice. On the bottom there is a removable plate which gets fastened just behind the lockable door, and so that will be able to mount to the frame and then slide the box in from the front slot and secure it in place with those 2 bolts. I'm going to start by constructing the back frame of the box. This is just a rectangle, the simplest piece of the box itself. We'll start it off easy and then get to the front face, which is a little more intricate. So I've got my Makita portable bandsaw, which makes cutting this square stock super easy. 3/4 inch square is not that hard to cut, honestly, but the bandsaw is way better than trying to do all of these cuts with an angle grinder. One of my future projects that I want to do is create a frame for this portable bandsaw to fit onto, so I can use it as a horizontal or vertical bandsaw, and I'll have like a fence and a clamp. Make this process even easier yet. If that's something that would interest you guys, let me know and I can bump that up on the project list. But yeah, drop a comment down below and let me know if that's something you would like to see. So now that I've got all the pieces cut, I'll lay them out into that rectangle formation the way they're supposed to be. Got these little magnet corner clamps. Wish I had some bigger ones of these, honestly. Need to get some. And then next thing we gotta do is make sure that all the dimensions check out and that everything is square. Looking pretty good now. Until I did that, of course. Now we gotta start all over. And now we'll go ahead and get this back frame tacked up here. couple small tacks for now. Make sure that everything comes together, and then we'll come back and final weld everything up. Well, of course the camera battery died, but while it was dead I continued working on the front face. I've got the outer rectangle tacked up here, and now I'm adding the box out for the mailbox itself and getting that tacked up as well. And then I'll just take it off the table and go double check that the box out actually fits the dimensions of the mailbox, and it did, so we'll keep going. So now I'm going to start cutting the front to back pieces that will make up the frame and connect the four corners. Wouldn't you know it, the camera died yet again. But basically all I've got here is the front frame clamped up to the table. I've got two of the front to back pieces at either end, and I'm going to go ahead and get those tacked into place. Again, always double checking that everything is square before it gets even tacked. And now I'll go ahead and stand up the back face as well. That clamp down to the table. We'll get those runners tacked up to that. This is where the squaring process starts to get tricky, because now you're working in 3 dimensions instead of just 2. So a little bit of back and forth, double, triple check, really try to get this thing as square as possible before doing the final welds, because at that point you may as well start over. Right about here is when I could not get the 2 sides to draw together the way I needed them to in order to weld out that corner. And of course no bar clamps big enough, so next best thing, a couple C-clamps and an old rip of wood. That seemed to do the job pretty well. this point I was pretty confident that this whole bottom area was square, so I went ahead and actually welded up a few of the joints, making up this box so that keep that position in that square formation and it wouldn't get bent out when I was kind of tweaking the other side to try to get it square. And now we'll go through the same process at the top side of the mailbox. And now that the bottom's all square, we can go ahead and tack that up. And then we'll go ahead and set the top bar here and get that tacked as well. Now that the outer frame is all tacked up, we'll go ahead and remove the clamps, get it off the table, and stand it up for the first time. Sorry about the camera, guys. I should have moved it, but wasn't thinking about it. But anyway, you can't see it right now, but I'm checking the square of every corner in every direction. Make sure that all is well there, and kind of racking it a little bit here and there. Try to work out some of the corners that weren't as square. Now I'm just grinding down some of the welds on the top and bottom sides of the mailbox, causing it to not sit flat on the ground. Ultimately, we're going to add some feet to the bottom side of this frame that will allow us to adjust each corner independently and get it level and plumb on the concrete pad that we'll end up pouring for it. Now that I've got the frame the way I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and start welding off all of the joints the whole way across. We'll get it up here on the table so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm alternating back and forth between joints in order to allow some time for the metal to cool. It's not super thick, so it gets really hot just doing one side. And the camera died again. Gotta love GoPros. Anyway, now I am going to add some 45-degree angle pieces to the bottom four corners to give it some extra strength and also give me a inboard area to mount my adjustable feet. So I just got these cut-offs here, cut at 45, and I'm just going to weld it in place. I really lost my line on this one. Had to start over and go back. Doesn't matter, no one will ever see it, but it's strong. Can you tell I was having a hard time seeing the line? I think it's time for a new lens. Now that we got those done, I'm going to go ahead and add in the support member for the mailbox. This is two runners that are centered on the box opening and the perfect distance apart to hit two of the opposing screw holes in that bottom mounted plate. I did run out of material for this, so I kind of pieced it together. Instead of being just two straight runners, it ended up being a kind of an H shape, but you know, it's just there to screw the bottom plate into and support the mailbox. Didn't have to look nice, it just needed to be functional. And that's it for the frame construction. Got everything welded up there, and then afterward I took a wire wheel and cleaned up all of those welds, got all the slag off, and made them nice and shiny. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit this thing with the coat of primer. It is, going to be outside. It will be kind of sealed in by the stucco and hardy backer board, but now's the time to give it a little coat of paint, so let's go ahead and do it. I've got this is just a spray can of primer off the shelf from Home Depot, nothing special. You could even just use regular spray paint. Just want something to cover up that bare metal, try to prevent rust from forming as much as possible. And I think that's going to do it for this video here. I'm going to let this paint dry, and yeah, this is the finished painted product. And in the next video, we're going to go ahead and put the hardy backer board on and pour the concrete slab, do all of that good stuff, get this thing set, and I'll show you the end result. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next one.